Hello, welcome to the CRM training video for team investments in InfusionSoft software. What we're going to go over today is essentially how you log into the system and customize it for your needs and then start utilizing it to work with your clients and their files. So let's begin. You're going to receive a username and a password. That password will likely be a temporary password that you can go in and change later. So let's go ahead and begin. And you'll see that we have the main portal login page, and you can go to that by going to teaminvestments.infusionsoft.com. Once you hit enter, it will take you to this page. You do not need to enter www, just simply enter in teaminvestments.infusionsoft.com. This is where you will enter in your password or your username, and then once again here your password. Click on enter, and this is what your page will look like to begin with. And we're going to focus on how to navigate around this, how to customize it and get it ready for you to use on a day in and day out basis. A couple key areas here that you need to look at. We have our top toolbar here, and there's really two sections, one to the left and then you have one to the right. These are all here to make your navigation easier and more simple, and as you get used to it, it's going to become more familiar to you. When you set up your home page and customize your dashboard, this page will look different. We'll get into that in a moment. To begin with, we're going to start by customizing this area, which is where you're going to navigate to the most. It's going to start out here by saying My Nav and Customize Now. So when you first get your login, that's probably the first place you'll want to begin. I would bring your dashboard over, and then Contacts, and then you can bring over Tasks, and then your calendar if you would like, and maybe Opportunities. And then click Done. And as you can see, when you come back here to this InfusionSoft button and you hover over it, My Nav will be filled in. Now, this marketing and this e-commerce area, you won't need to focus on, so you can go ahead and just disregard that. What you'll mostly be focusing on are the areas that I'm showing you here. Now, to customize your dashboard, what you're going to do is simply click on Customize Your Dashboard. These are all your options to add to your dashboard. RSS feed, let's go ahead and add that one. Right now you'll have basic InfusionSoft RSS feed. You can edit that at any time and add any RSS feed that you would like. For our purposes here, I'm going to go ahead and just put in a industry relevant RSS feed from Inman News. I'm going to go ahead and select that. Delete it. Make sure that you get all of it out of there so it's blank. And then go ahead and put in the RSS feed that you're looking for. This one's for Inman News. As you can see, it put in the top 5 real estate stories. Now I'm going to put that over here to the side so you can drag and drop pretty much whatever you're looking for and then put them in the correct location or the location that you prefer. Another one I'm going to add is appointments, so that I can see any appointments that I have here. Now, because this is a new account, I obviously don't have any new appointments, so it's going to be a bit sparse now, but as you add more and more appointments, they will show up here. When you log in for the day, you can see all your appointments for the day and how they're attached to each specific client that you have. Any of these other ones you could do, but a lot of them won't be relevant, such as usage stats, campaign stats, things like that. The one that will be relevant as time goes forward is Save Search or Save Report. As time goes on, I'm going to be adding more save searches and reports that you can add to your home page or your dashboard, and it will allow you to see specifically saved searches for you. But for right now, we're just going to go back to our dashboard and we're going to see what we have there. Now to begin, go ahead and take a look up here again. As a review, we have our InfusionSoft button. You just hover over that and you can edit your My Nav buttons and put those in there as you see fit and will work for you. And then I also want to point out this area over here, there's 5 buttons and then a search area. This home button is a pretty quick way to get around as well. You can go to your dashboard, inbox, tasks, calendar, and files. You also have recently viewed, you have your favorites, and then of course you can edit your profile and log out. And then finally, this is where your help guide is, and we'll cover that later. Let's go ahead and edit our profiles so that we can get our signature set up and the rest of the relevant information that we need. As you can see, as I've been set up here, I have my first name and last name. I can go ahead and put in Team Investments. And then I'm a realtor. And then here's the email address that it was set up with. If I have another email address, I can put it in there. And then also realize that this number that's already in here is my mobile phone. And then click Save. You can also put in your website address. And then click Save. Every time you change this information, make sure that you click Save. As you look down here, there's another set of tabs, and then up at the top there's another set of tabs, and you'll see this is a very consistent experience throughout the software, whether you're working with clients or working within your profile. So let's focus on this top set of tabs. We've already made changes to the general settings. Let's go ahead and take a look at preferences. Here's where you can change your username, and you can also change your password. You can also change where certain things show up and what the default is for those. And then you can also change your calendar down here. Looking at signatures, here is where you can add specific items to your signature and make it look however you choose. Now, because this is a default template, it's very basic, but I can put in whatever information I would like. So for example, if I want to put my phone number in here, I can do that. I can also put Team Investments, Realtor, and make it look however I would like. Now you also have HTML signature, and how you're going to edit that is by clicking on Edit, and then if you have a picture or something for your signature line, you can go ahead and edit that here. Now you can play around with this a little bit, but to edit that and to insert a photo, you'll click on that icon, and then you can work within that image here, or you can upload it by clicking Browse. And then you just simply click Insert. And then make sure that you click Save. Now let's focus on this bottom tab. We have follow-up sequences, which you won't necessarily need to worry about, but the more important one is the social accounts. Here is where you can add Facebook and Twitter. All you'll do is simply click on Facebook, you authorize account, and then it will give you your login information here, or where you'll enter your login information, and then what you'll want to do is give it authorization, and once you do that, it will add that to your InfusionSoft account. You can also do the same for Twitter. Mail accounts, here you can add a new POP account. Make sure that your email account is a POP account, and then it will show up in here and you can send emails directly out of InfusionSoft. So that's the bottom set of tabs. Once again, remember that you usually have 2 areas where there's tabs and you can make changes. One at the top and then one toward the bottom. So that's editing our account profile. One other thing I want to focus on is your favorites. This is a great place to go ahead and add links that you'll need on a day in and day out basis. Under My Links, for example, if I want to get to armless.flexmls.com with the click of a mouse, I'm just going to go ahead and enter that in here. Probably going to choose for that to be in a new window, and then I'm going to click Save. Another one I may want to do is say my website. Now if I go to these pages on a day in and day out basis, once again, I want quick access to them. So all I do is click up here and I can always get to my Armless MLS search. Very quick and very easy. Another one that you'll likely want to add is sure close. Now make sure that you have the web address correct. I'm not sure that's the exact web address, but you'll also want that as well. Now I will make one note. It is usually best if you're using Firefox as your browser. It will work in Safari and IE and Chrome, but there might be some things that cause issues. So my recommendation is Firefox, and if you have any problems trying to do something, go ahead and try and run Infusionsoft within Firefox. So from here, you can go back up to the home and click on dashboard, and it takes you back here. So let's focus on the next step. Let's add some contacts. So how we add contacts is that we can go up to this Infusionsoft hover button once again, or you'll actually notice that down here you have those same My Nav buttons. So I can either select contacts here, or I can go here and select contacts. Let's try both ways just so we can see. When you select contacts from My Nav button, then what's going to happen is it's going to bring this area here where once you have contacts in, you'll see them listed or you can search within them. If I want to, I can go ahead and search by clicking Start Over and then by typing in a name here. We'll focus on this later once we've entered in some contacts. Let's go to Contacts in this taskbar and click on Add a Contact. This will take us to the Enter New Lead Contact Info web form that makes it easy and simple to add this information. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in a contact, and let's just say it's Maggie, and her last name is Smith as well. Her email address is maggie@email.com, and I know her phone number to be this. Now the lead source is required. You can see by the asterisk that these are all required: first name, lead source, prospect type, and notes. For lead source, that was a personal lead that somebody referred to me, and I know that they're going to be a buyer, so I select buyer. For the notes, I'm just going to put in referred by friend Smith, and they are looking to buy a home in Tempe. Now here's the important thing. For right now, you're going to want to make sure that you assign this to yourself. Since I'm John Smith, I'm going to click John Smith. Once I assign it to myself, I'm going to have the option to checkbox certain things here. As time goes on, we're going to be adding more options. Daily deals, newsletters. If I got the lead from Trulia, I can simply click this box and this box, and they're going to get automatic emails from Trulia, our Trulia lead sequence, and then also newsletters when they send them out. If they're an investor and I want them to get investor emails, I would click on that. Now this is going to automatically tag them and send them this information. So once I'm done, I simply click Save, and it will take me to the contact record. Now we're into the contact record information, and you can see that there's many different options here. So let's go over those options. Once again, you'll see that we have the contact name. We also have this tab of options at the top, and you'll see these tabs of options at the bottom once again. To begin with, certain tabs are selected as defaults. Here is where you can put in more information. If I wanted to add a mobile phone number, I could do that here. I can also add a different address. I can put in their website. I could do lots of different things here. Click Save after you've changed that information. Here's where you can also make person notes. This is where the notes came in, if you'll remember, that we put in on that main web form. This is where you'll always be able to go back and see how you got this or whatever information you put in there. So that's important to remember. Going back to the General tab, I want us to focus on a couple different things here. Tags are going to be very important within this software. If you remember clicking on those checkboxes, these are the tags that were associated with that account or with that contact. If you made a mistake and you wanted to edit those tags, if I don't want them to be on the newsletter, I'll just simply click remove right here and then click save. So you can see there's only two tags that are associated, the Truly a Lead campaign and the TI Investor Drip campaign. So that's a basic area for the contact information at the top. But what about this bottom tab? If you click on tasks, this is where all the information that you associate with this account on a daily basis goes. You can add tasks here, add a note, and see email history if you're using email within this. We're going to come back to that in a second. Follow-up sequences. If you remember when you selected that checkbox on that, when you entered in the contact information, this is where you can actually see when these emails are going to run and the tasks and other things associated with that follow-up sequence are going to be. You can click to run this immediately or you can cancel these. Here's the Truly a follow-up, and then there would be a newsletter one there if we had not canceled it. Once again, if you accidentally added them to a campaign you didn't want, you can go ahead and click remove, and you remove them from that email campaign. My recommendation is not to do this unless you've added them to that campaign by accident. The beauty of the system is that it automatically adds them to these email sequences to keep us in front of them and keep us at the top of their mind when they're looking to buy or sell. So let's look at what it looks like to work a new lead. Once you've entered in all the information, you made sure it's accurate and up to date, you'll go down here, and the first thing we want to do is add an opportunity. As we know, associated with real estate, they're always going to be looking at something specific or selling something specific. So what we want to do is we want to add an opportunity that will be associated with this specific contact. If we know what that is, this opportunity information will be relevant. Right now they're a new lead. We want to make sure that they're already associated with us, and they should be. I'm going to put in the opportunity notes. It's single family home. So I know that's my opportunity with Maggie. I'm going to put up a next follow-up action, and for example, and then I can associate a date with that. Let's just say Saturday morning. So you can specifically schedule this. Then you click save. So what that did is that created the opportunity associated with Maggie Smith. As you can see in this area, we're no longer looking at the contact information, but we're looking at the opportunity. Now this is where this gets really, really powerful, is that within this opportunity for Maggie Smith, I can associate tasks and appointments and notes all within this opportunity. Opportunity summary is here on the right hand side. I have the relevant information and then the opportunity notes. So this is a new lead. Let's just say that I made a phone call to Maggie and I left her a voicemail. Within the sales stages and steps, you can choose the appropriate action. So I left a voicemail. Now it's telling me that I need to check off called or sent email. If that is there, then you just need to simply select that you called or sent an email, which shows that you made an attempt to contact the new lead. I went to voicemail, or left her a voicemail, and then it changed it. So I moved her from the stage of new lead into left voicemail. And in order to do that, I needed to verify that I called or sent an email and attempted to contact. Now what I would like to do here is create a task. Since I left a voicemail, I'd like to call her again. So I'm going to put in here, remember I selected task, call Maggie, and I want to call her on Sunday afternoon at 3:15. Okay, so you can see that this linked information here is with Maggie. I want to call her on this date and this time. Now I'm going to leave completion date empty until I'm done with it. Creation notes, exactly what I want to do. And then I'm going to say that it's a phone call. If I wanted to email her, I would click email, or if I wanted to schedule an appointment, I would put in appointment. But for this purpose, I'm going to click call. Now that's going to be essential because I need to make sure that I stay on top of that. Here I can select a pop-up reminder. I want it 5 minutes before the due date, and then I'm going to click save. It's going to update the record, and with this opportunity, here's this task. Now I want to add a note so I can remember exactly what I did. I called Maggie on this, and then I'm going to put, I left a voicemail. Great. So now I know exactly what I did at this point in time. I'm going to click save. So I always have record of the date that I put in this note and what my action description was. And then here's my creation notes. If I ever want to go back in, I click on left voicemail, and then I can see my notes. Great. So now we've worked on adding a task and adding a note. What about adding an appointment? Say I get a phone call from Maggie saying she wants to meet to talk about searching for homes and just to meet each other. So I click on an appointment. I'm going to put initial client meeting, and we're going to meet on Tuesday the 17th. Make sure that you do your appointment start and end dates at the same on the same day or whatever it works, and then we're going to meet from 4 p.m. until 5 p.m. on that day. Great. Now this of course is an appointment, and it's critical, and I want to be reminded 2 hours before. So I click save. So now you can see that within this opportunity for Maggie Smith, we also have tasks, appointments, and notes all associated with that opportunity, and you can always go into them and see exactly what you need to do or what's happened on the account. Now say that you have found Maggie a home and you would like to document exactly the pertinent details toward that home and closing details. Back at this top tab, you can click on Closing Details. For closing details, what you'd like to do is click on your close of escrow date. Let's just say she's going to close on May 31st. The sale price is $100,000. Let's just say the gross commission on that is $3,000. Let's say that my commission is going to be $2,000. Let's pay the brokerage $500 so I can fill all these out. Let's just say the E&O is $100. And then if my numbers work out here, that would mean that I have $400 left that I'm going to pay as a referral fee. And this is really just for my record, so I can keep track of what I have to look forward to. For the MLS number, let's just go ahead and enter that here. I'll put in this address, so I always have record of it. And then you can see if I go out of this, go back to the opportunity, and then back to closing details, I have all this information already in here. Okay, so we filled out a lot of different things for Maggie Smith. We created an opportunity, and you can also put in this deal closing right here as well, and I would recommend that, especially when you have a closing. Click on Commit to Forecast. You also have tasks and appointments. and then you have notes. So here's what I want us to do. Go back to the dashboard. And I want to show you an example of how these appointments will show up from day to day. So what I did was I just looked at my calendar. If you have appointments for that day, it'll just show up for that same day, but you can change the date to look. And this is just on your dashboard or your home page. You can change that date and you can see that there's this appointment. Once an appointment shows up in here, what you can do is you can click on this and you can actually see this appointment. If you want to go to the contact associated with that, you simply click on the name and it will take you within the contact record, and there you are. So let's go back to the dashboard. Another way we can look at this is by going to tasks. Let's click on tasks if we want to see the tasks that we have. So right now it's not showing anything because we have a date range of today and past due. Now that will be good when we have lots of tasks because we want to focus on what we have to do today. But if I want to see what my future tasks are, I drop this down and click on future. We can see that there's a task. Call Maggie. Without even going into this, we can see what the title is, who it's associated with, and then also the due date. So if I want to go into that task and I called her, let's go ahead and take a look at this information. This is all the same exact information we input before. I can either complete it from there, or we can go ahead and go in here to Maggie Smith and work it within the record. So after I go into the record, what I would like to do is go ahead and click on tasks, and I can see that that task is set up here. If I want to go ahead and complete that task, I click on the action description. Even if I'm completing it early, I can go ahead and click on the date that I completed it and then click on save. What I'm saying here is that I have completed that task. You will now see that under tasks, it is gone and is moved into a note so that you can look back and see what you did. Now, one other thing here that you can do is you can see your appointments within the account. But if I wanted to, I could go to my calendar and I can see my calendar for the day. Now, just like Outlook and iCal, I can click on week and it will show me the entire week, or month and it will show me my month. Now, as you can see, it shows my tasks and appointments. If I hover over the appointment, it shows me all the details. If I hover over the task, it doesn't do anything, but I can click on it and it will take me to that task. Now, for example, if I wanted to maybe make a change to this date, I simply click on that, click on the appointment, I go ahead and change the date and the time can stay the same, click on save, and you'll see that it moved it to the next day. The great thing about this is that Infusionsoft makes it simple to make changes without going into the contact record. It's all about efficiency and making these changes so that you can get back to making money by working with your clients. So that's the calendar. Now, when you have lots of opportunities in here, there's this opportunity tab where you can just click on View Opportunities and you'll see that your opportunities will show up. If you have 10 of them will show up. If you have many more, you can click the Start Over button and you can actually search. Now, your searches can be very detailed, and this is the same with searching for contacts. You can search by action date, date range, name. You can also search by miscellaneous criteria, and you'll see all of these different options, opportunities with specific tags, whatnot. You could even search opportunities by close of escrow date. If you wanted to look at close of escrow dates for the last 7 days, you can pull up all your opportunities that you have within the last 7 days with that same close of escrow date. So very powerful. You can search in opportunities, view all your opportunities, or you can look at your contacts and view contacts. One other quick tip here is that if you want to search a contact without going into contacts or whatnot, just go into the upper right hand corner here and type in the name, and it will go ahead and straight up pull that contact into your window here. From here, once again, you have the contact information, you have your opportunity, you can go into your opportunity and work your file. So that's great. Very simple, very easy. Now, if you get stuck, there's a resource for you available within your portal. Back up into the upper right hand corner here, you'll see this little question mark. There's a couple different ways to go about getting help. The two you want to focus on is User Guide and Video Library. Let's start with the User Guide. If you select User Guide, it's going to go ahead and pull up a page separate of your portal that allows you to go ahead and search in a couple different ways for help. To start with, on the left-hand side, you can search here, or you can simply look at this Getting Started. Getting Started is a good place to begin, but also since you're focusing mostly on the CRM, you could look at the CRM. Say you have a question regarding contacts. You can just simply click on CRM and then Contacts, and it'll pull up everything regarding these contacts. Now, these are usually the most asked questions, or FAQs, but what you can do is take a look through here and see what makes sense. Well, yeah, I want to know how to add a note to a contact record, so I'm going to select number 9. When I do that, there's a couple different ways that they help you. Number 1, there's a watch this video, so that's very simple and very helpful. But there's also a tutorial here written out about adding a record. So very simple. Another thing that you can do is search in this upper right hand corner and say I want to do how do I add a person. I just simply add that in or type that in, click on search, and it brings up a lot of different results. Now these results are more based upon other questions that people and users have put in, and you can tell that because this is like a forum. There's also the CRM Infusionsoft Help Center, so there's plenty of help here. So let's go back to our application and focus on the video library. The video library is also a great resource because they're just walkthrough tutorials. The ones that you'll probably want to focus on most are Infusionsoft Basics, CRM, and Opportunity Management. Now don't get frustrated because there's a lot of things in here that the system does that we won't focus on, like e-commerce and marketing automation and affiliates. Don't worry about that stuff. You want to focus on these 3 over here. So for example, if you click on Opportunity Management, just simply click on that and it'll bring up videos and tutorials based on sales opportunity basics, gives you a title, and most of them are very short. You can customize your opportunities, things like that. And then on the left hand side, under trading videos, you can go from topic to topic just by simply clicking on that. You'll see there's a bunch of videos on person records, company records, which we don't focus on too much, and then communications. But for the most part, you should focus on the contact, notes, tasks, appointments, and then working within those and creating opportunities. So there you have it. That's the Infusionsoft CRM program that we utilize to work with our clients and provide great support and service to them. So it's a great tool that Team Investments has really focused on and has extended out to its agents. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, or you can take a look at the user guide and video library. I look forward to seeing how you guys utilize this, and I'm open to feedback. So if you have any questions or feedback, definitely let me know. Thank you.